Good morning, students. This is class 10th, subject English, chapter 6th, The Making of a Scientist, from your Footprints Without Feet book, and this is my lecture 1. So today we are going to start 6th chapter, The Making of a Scientist. Topics to be covered today. First of all, we shall read the introduction of the chapter. Then we shall read about the characters, the main characters of this chapter. And then we shall read the overview of this chapter, the making of a scientist. So let us start with the introduction of the chapter. Now let us read the introduction of the chapter. The making of a scientist means how can a person become a scientist. So the story The Making of a Scientist is written by Robert W. Peterson. It is about the great scientist Richard H. Everett. He had a habit of collecting butterflies, rock fossils and coins since he was a kid. He started scientific research on the study of butterflies. His curiosity and a will to win for the right reasons made him successful. Means Richard H. Everett became a successful scientist just because of his curiosity and a will to win. Now let us talk about the main characters of this chapter. First, the main character of this chapter is Richard H. Everett. He is a brilliant scientist. He is noted for his work on cell and reading of DNA. Then next main character of this chapter is Richard's mother. She is an encouraging mother who supported Richard in every way. Now next, Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart. He is a prominent scientist. He did his research on monarch butterflies. He provided valuable guidance to Richard for his projects. Now next, Richard A. Wearer. He is Richard's social studies teacher. He helped Richard to become a good debater and a public speaker. The next character, James R. Wong. He is a fellow scholar who worked with him on a project. So, these are the main characters of this chapter, The Making of a Scientist, written by Robert W. Peterson. Next is overview of this chapter. Overview of the chapter, The Making of a Scientist. So let us begin. First heading is Richard's success at young age. Richard was actually very small when he started collecting the things. The article of Richard and his friend was published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. He was only 22 years old at that time. It was the first time that the research work of college students was published. This was the first time. It was a rare honor for Richard. Richard H. Everett published the theory of how cells work in an article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science when he was just 20 years old. Now, next heading is Richard a collector from childhood. From beginning he had a great interest in collecting the things. Richard was the only child of his parents and he grew up at Reading in Pennsylvania, USA. He had no one to play with, so he started collecting things, rocks, fossils and coins. Actually, he had no friends to play. He was not able to play football or any other game, but he used to collect the things as it is written here. He used to collect rocks, fossils and coins. He even gazed at stars. Collecting butterflies became his hobby. Actually, later on he started collecting butterflies and it became his hobby. Now let us talk about Richard's companion. His mother. Actually, Richard's mother developed his interest in learning. She was his companion, his friend, and Richard's mother was constantly with him. She took him on trips, bought him telescope, microscope, cameras and other materials. She always encouraged him to do something new in the field of science. She took him, as I have already told you, that she took him on trips and bought different types of equipments like telescope, microscope, cameras, mounting materials and other materials required for learning. And she always found work for Richard Ebright. Whenever he had no work to do, she used to bring some work for him, not physical work. We are talking about learning work. So she found work to challenge him and helped him to learn a lot. Fine. So the real companion, the real friend of Richard is actually his mother, who opened the world of science to Richard Ebright. Now, a very important point in this chapter, the travels of Monarch 10. This is actually the name of a book which was gifted by Richard's mother to him. So the reading of a children's book titled The Travels of Monarch 10 inspired him. It was gifted by his mother. He became interested in the world of science. The book asked the readers to study butterfly migrations. Richard came in contact with the scientist Dr. Urquhart through this book, who influenced him greatly. Actually, this book titled The Travel of Monarch 10 became a turning point in his life. The book was about how monarch butterflies migrated to Central America. This opened the world of science to the eager young butterfly collector, and as it is written here that through this book he came in contact with the scientist Dr. Urquhart. Actually, at the end of the book, readers were invited to help study butterfly migration, and he actively participated in tagging butterflies to help in research being conducted by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart. So after reading that book, The Travels of Monarch 10, Richard Ebright started raising monarch butterflies. he rose a flock of butterflies. Richard decided to raise butterflies at home to study their migration pattern. He would catch a female monarch and take her eggs. He would watch all the stages of development of the butterfly. Then he would tag their wings and free them. He did it for many years and raised thousands of butterflies in the basement of his home. So Richard Arkwright caught a female monarch, took her eggs and raised them in his basement through their life cycle from egg to caterpillar, then caterpillar to pupa, then to adult butterfly. Then he would tag the butterfly wings and let them go. So for several years his basement was home to thousands of monarchs in different stages of development. Now next heading. Richard's participation in county science fair. Actually, Richard participated in a county science fair and there he got failure, but he learnt many things from this failure. Richard displayed his flights of frogs at the county science fair but didn't win any award. He realized that he needed to carry out real experiments to win an award. He took suggestions from Dr. Urquhart. As a result of his many experiments, he won many prizes at the county and international science fairs in the following years. Means there he found that others did some real experiment in that county science fair, but he did only the tissues of frogs. So there he realized that he had to do some real experiment to win the prize, and later on he did the same and got many prizes. Richard Arkwright did many experiments and projects. So here we are going to talk about his 8th grade project. Arkwright tried to find the cause of a viral fever or viral disease that killed thousands of monarch caterpillars or monarch butterflies. So he wanted to find out the reason of that disease. So he thought that a beetle may carry this disease or this virus that causes viral fever to monarch butterflies. Although this was not true, he didn't get any real result, this was not the case, but he still won a prize. He went ahead and showed that he had tried the experiment. Means Richard Arkwright tried to find the reason of a viral fever or a disease that kills thousands of monarch butterflies. For this he thought that a beetle may carry this disease, but later on when he rose caterpillars in the presence of beetles, he found that there was not any such thing and he didn't get any real result, but he still won the prize for his project because he showed that he had tried this experiment. So this was one of the project of Richard Arkwright. Now next heading, Richard's victory at county science fair. In beginning we read that he entered a county science fair but he did not get any result, but later on he did many experiments and he won. So let us talk. Richard experimented on Viceroy butterflies. He tried to prove that Viceroys copy monarch. Viceroys do it to protect themselves from birds, as birds who don't eat monarchs. The project won the first prize in the zoology division and overall third prize in the county science fair. His science fair actually this project also tested that the theory that Viceroy butterflies copy monarch. So he tried to find out the reason. Monarchs don't taste good to birds, means birds do not like to eat monarchs, and Viceroys on the other hand do taste good to birds, means birds like to eat Viceroy's butterflies. So the more they look like monarchs, the less likely they are to become a bird's dinner. So that's why Viceroy butterflies tried to copy monarch so that they could not become the victim, they could not become the dinner of birds. So Viceroys do it just to protect themselves from birds. So this project was actually a success, and this project won the first prize in the zoology division and overall third in the county science fair. Next heading, Richard's discovery of a hormone. Richard Ebright also began the research that led to his discovery of an unknown hormone. So Richard was curious to know the reason behind 12 gold spots on a monarch pupa. He and his friends built a device to prove that the spots were producing a hormone necessary for its full development. The project got him first prize in the county fair. He also entered the International Science and Engineering Fair. He got third prize for zoology in this. Actually, Richard tried to find out the reason of the 12 tiny gold spots on a monarch pupa. A monarch butterfly, monarch pupa, actually has 12 tiny gold spots. So he tried to find out the reason of it. Others would say that those spots were only ornamental. Ornamental means decorative. But he and his friends built a device. They actually discovered a device to prove that the spots were producing a hormone that was necessary for the butterfly's full development. So this project won Ebright first place in the county fair and entry into the International Science and Engineering Fair. He also got third prize for zoology in this. So this is also one of the project of Richard Ebright. Now next heading, Ebright continues his research on monarch pupa. Richard grew cells from the wings of a monarch butterfly. He further proved that cells grow into scales of wings only when they were injected with the hormone from the gold spots. He carried on his work at the Army Laboratory and Laboratory of the US Department of Agriculture. After his freshman year at Harvard, he returned to the laboratory of the Department of Agriculture to identify the chemical structure of hormone. This gave him a new idea about cell life. Next heading, Richard's study of cell and DNA. Richard's research on the hormone gave him an idea for his new theory about cell life. He believed that his study would tell how cells read their DNA. He, along with his college roommate James R. Wong, worked on the idea. Then they wrote a paper explaining their theory. So he got this idea for his new theory about cell life when he was studying the tiny gold spots of monarch pupa. Now next heading, Richard's glory at Harvard. Now what did Richard achieve at Harvard? Richard Ebright graduated with second position in a class of 1510 students. He got second position in the class. He became a graduate student researcher. He started experimenting to prove his new theory that was about cell life. His theory may create new ways to prevent some types of cancer and other diseases. So this was done by Richard Ebright. He got second position in the classroom. He became a graduate student researcher and he continued to prove his new theory, and his theory was maybe very beneficial to cure some types of cancer and other diseases. Next heading, Richard an all-rounder. Richard Ebright is not just a scientist. He was actually interested in other extracurricular activities also. He is an all-rounder. He is a good debater and a public speaker. He is also a photographer and an outdoors person. His social studies teacher praises him for his will to work hard, do his best and win. He was a good debater, public speaker, a good canoeist and a good photographer, particularly of nature. Richard A. Wearer was his social studies teacher, and he was the most important person for him, and even he praises him for his will to work hard. Now next heading. Richard Ebright, a true scientist. Richard has all qualities that make him a true scientist. He has curiosity and a first-rate mind. He wants to win for the right reason. So Richard became a successful scientist because he had all the qualities which a scientist should have. He didn't believe in the dictum. He just wanted to be the best. He had a scientific bent of mind. He never lost his scientific curiosity. He wants to win for the right reasons, and at last he got success. Now your homework. Homework is to read the chapter and answer the following questions. Question 1. What lesson does Ebright learn when he doesn't win anything at a science fair? Second question. What experiments and projects does he do then undertake? Question 3. What are the qualities that go into the making of a scientist? Question 4. How did Ebright's mother help him? So these are the questions. So you need to find out the answers and write them and send me the snapshots of your homework. I hope you all have understood whatever is taught to you. So do your homework and send at my email ID. Thank you.